So to make your charcuterie tree, which we call the Charcuterie, you're gonna need your full kit here. You have your charcuterie tree cone, you have your toothpicks and your star tree topper, and you have all of your food, vintage cheddar, pepper jack, salami, and then our olives. My little mise en place, it makes it a lot easier. So the first thing that I like to do is prep the cheese. So the instructions on the back of the box says to do 12, but if you want your pieces to be a little bit bigger, you can cut these into 10 pieces. There are actually only 10 holes if you want the cheese pieces to be a little bit bigger and more rectangular versus square. I recommend cutting it into 10 pieces. So you're gonna cut it lengthwise here, about halfway in. We now have 2 pieces equal. This is for fun, it doesn't have to be exact. I like to do it in half. It's a lot easier to look at half, 2, 3, and you can see we get a little bit small, some smaller pieces, a little bit longer. Mine aren't all exactly even. We've got some little longer ones, some smaller ones, and we're gonna do that again for the pepper jack. Lengthways, 2 cheeses. I'm gonna still do in 12, but if you wanna do this again in 10 pieces, if you want them to be a little bit bigger versus cubes and have them a little more rectangular, I love that aesthetic as well. You can see here, I've got all my pepper jack cheese. By the way, this is super delicious. If you sneak a piece while you're building, totally do it. I love it. I like to start at the top and then work our way down. At the top, I like to put like little smaller pieces because it's really pretty condensed at the top. What I like to do is I put the toothpick through the center of it. I aesthetically like to push it all the way down, but again, if you're hosting for guests, you might want to leave it up a little bit so that they can grab it. The pepper jack goes into the top. Like you can put it straight in like this, or you can put it just straight into the cone like this at the angle that you want, and then put the cheese on it. Aesthetically, I love that because you can angle the cheese exactly how you want. If one of them cracks, that's okay. If the cheese breaks, like use it in another way. Eat it, or you can just put it back in. And then I'm gonna take another toothpick. You can always trim your pieces however you want. We're just gonna keep going all the way around. You can see it's sort of creating a nice little swirl here. Next, we're gonna do our olives. I like to poke them the long way, like this, where the hole is out. We're gonna start at the top. Again, remember you wanna put them at a 45-degree angle at the top. So there are 12 holes for these. So here's what we've done. So you can see like this one might be turning, so like I might like push that in a little bit more here. Makes that nice little line. And next we're gonna do our meats. There's multiple ways to actually fold your meat. In the instructions, what we're doing is we're taking our meat like this, we fold it in half, and then we're folding it again to make a little fan like this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna push your toothpick right through the middle like this. Now, if you wanna go freestyle, like there's multiple ways. You could open it up, like you could have like sort of a little aesthetic more like this. You could put your toothpick through 3 of the pieces instead of 4 and makes like this nice little heart shape like this. So you can really have like more ruffles. You can really experiment with how you want your ruffles to look. Now, I'm gonna just follow the instructions as before. And one of the things that I really like to do with this is I like to put them like more through the top, gives it a nice dimension. With this, I actually like to start from the bottom because I like to overlap them in a really beautiful way. And this really creates dimension. Look at how it creates this nice little ruffle on the bottom. And what I love about it is it's sort of like you can layer them. You're gonna have a lot of salami left over. Eat it, put it on your charcuterie board, surrounding it, make little ruffles. It's just like making a charcuterie board. It's like a 3D charcuterie board. I really recommend eating it. It's really good quality cheeses and meats. So one more to go on the top. So far we've got 3 layers. Let's go in our last ingredient, which is the cheddar cheese, the vintage cheddar. Remember, I like using like some of the smaller pieces at the top because it's nice to put the toothpick in first to position it exactly how you want it. I'm going to use that here. See how it's nicely positioned, and we're getting to see exactly now all those different layers. Now I want maybe a little bit more, some square pieces here as we get a little bit closer together towards the bottom. But there's still that orange hole that's perfectly ready for this one last piece. I just trimmed it, and so it fits like beautifully into this hole. Look at that. And then that just perfectly fits there. Okay, so the last piece, now that we have our whole tree, you can see it here. Oh, I think it's so gorgeous. Now we're just gonna put the tree topper in the top here. And that is our full tree. Check that out. I love it. And I hope that you guys enjoy this at your home and for your holiday table.